Hi, everybody. Welcome to another episode of the Titan Business Builders. And today we have Philip Todd as guest. And Philip is the owner of MotionRES, and that's a video production agency. That's correct. Is it, Philip?
Hey, how you doing?
Hey, how are you?
Good, good. Good to be here. Thanks for inviting me on.
No
Ready
problem,
to
no problem.
ready to talk
So,
about business.
so the first thing that I always ask to people is like, how did you get started or how did you get into the entrepreneurship, building your own company? I mean, that's what we do with everybody that is within technology, of course, and the Titan Business Builders, that's the name of the podcast. So, building a business, why did you get into it? Because it's not easy, right? It's
Yeah,
a different life.
yeah. So I didn't know, I guess, before how hard it was gonna actually be. Um, so I was doing freelance videography work before. So maybe I'm 30 now, so I guess I started when I was like 20, so like 10 years ago. And I did some freelance videography and editing work for about 4 or 5 years, and then I got the great idea to start my business. So I don't even know why, just to seem more legit, I think, but I really didn't know what was in store for me. Um, so then after making that, getting my LLC and the business license and all of that good stuff, um, I had no idea how to get any business. I knew nothing about the business side of anything, no marketing, no sales training, nothing. So it was a few years before I actually started getting steady clients that way. Because you can know the operational part, so how to shoot good video that sounds good and looks good, but if you don't know how to get clients, you don't know how to talk to people, you don't know communication, then it's just gonna fail. Right? So I had to work on
Yeah.
that first. But
So once you started, you still got your customers from freelancing, I guess. What was like the first pieces of your business that you thought, okay, I need to fix this. I need to make sure that this is set up before I can really call it a real business.
right, so I think um I think before I could really call it a real business, because anybody can make, I mean, it costs like $100 to get an LLC. I mean, it's nothing. And so I guess having a real business means being, well, not even being profitable. I guess it just means getting surviving, I guess, like off of yourself, being self-sufficient in your business, so making enough money to to pay everything that you have to. you know so I guess that's kind of what it means to me. It doesn't, like, I don't know, success in business. My business is still small. We don't do like $100,000 commercials and stuff like that. But I still think it's a success just because of the work that we are getting, and I'm taking care of myself, right, through the business that I started. So yeah, it's I guess that's what it means to me, to have a legit business.
What pieces were missing from the beginning? Was it like you didn't have the right messaging to bring in new clients, or you didn't do enough marketing, or because you're in the video production space, so you make videos for companies so they can have also a better image towards their potential customers. But for you, you used video as well from the beginning then to do this, or what did you try to do to make it work, marketing wise or sales wise?
Yeah, so like I said, whenever I started, I knew nothing about marketing, so I was just trying to reach out to people like on social media, or I went into like a few businesses, like I think a couple of like real estate places, some insurance company, just to go in and talk to them, to try to just cold, you know. And so I that never really worked for me because I didn't know what I was doing, you know. I just kind of walk in and was like, hey, you I do video, man. And obviously that's not, you know, that's not the a great way to get yourself more business if you don't know how to do that kind of like cold, you know, calling, cold emailing stuff. But so after I did, you know, pick up a few clients here and there just by reaching out through like email and phone call and different websites, like I can't remember the name of the website. That it's a website where like freelancers go to,
like Upwork or Fiverr. Yeah.
something like that. It was one of those. And so I actually landed my first I'm gonna say like good client from that. It was a pretty big healthcare recruiting firm here in Atlanta, and I feel like I just got lucky with that. And that was like a $2,000 or $3,000 video, I think. So that was the biggest one I ever did, and I was just like, oh, I can't believe they agreed to this, you know, not knowing that the owner was a multimillionaire. It never, like, you know, I just didn't think about it like that. I just, you know, that's a whole lot of money to me. So, yeah, so that was the first thing that I actually did through like Upwork, is where I got my first legit, like big, you know, client for me. And then, so where it really started is I discovered Google Ads, and I started studying copywriting, like, you know, digital marketing through Google Ads. And that worked like really well for me after about, I don't know, it took me a few months and about $1,000 wasted to actually figure out how to do it, like what's working, who my audience is, where, you know, where these ads need to go, all of the logistics there. And I started getting leads that way. So, you know, the next part was, well, how do I close these leads that I'm getting? Because I had the marketing down all decently, and I was getting leads in, but I still didn't know how to really sell, you know, didn't know how to sell these people. So then that was the next step. Started studying that, sales, you know, the techniques, and started closing some jobs. So I would say 80% of my business came from Google Ads. Yeah. And I still do, you know, do that today. So
Awesome. Yeah, and I also like it, what you say about first you had to figure out how to do the ads, how to do proper marketing, or how to do proper copywriting. Then the next step is about sales, right? And it's really step by step that you build this, that you build that knowledge as well. In terms of where your business is right now, like what were the extra steps that you need to make sure that you did to get where you are right now? Is it just the marketing and the sales that you need to streamline and then it's all fine, or what else would you say is needed?
yeah, so I think one of the biggest things is being consistent. Being consistent and being like focused in on it, because it's not just being good at marketing or being good at sales. You have to keep going with it, and if a deal falls through, or, you know, you don't close a job, a lot of people will let that get to them, and it did me. But if you keep letting that get to you, like on a personal level, then you're just destined for failure, probably. I mean, so just, I would say I had to keep going and going and going, and had to fail. Like, I kept failing like hundreds of times, It was really, really tough, but I think, like I said, just being consistent with what has worked in the past for you, and then keep doing more of that, even if it doesn't work out. Keep testing different things, but overall is just being consistent and trying to keep moving forward, and not having a fail and then saying, well, forget this, I'm pissed off, so I'm not going to even do this anymore. I'm going back to freelance.
Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah, because the mindset is a big one in building businesses.
Right.
If you can't get your mind right, you quickly are going to get back to your old habits or to your comfort zone, right? And that's just like a lot of people start businesses because they want to get out of that situation, and once it gets a little bit hard, they want to go back to that situation. So it's like a weird thing to have.
Yeah.
Philip, you do video production. Like, how important do you feel is video production right now in the whole marketing scheme for a business?
So I mean, I believe that video is, if it's structured correctly, is maybe the most powerful marketing tool that you can use, like, online. And I think the statistics, like, across the board, show that as well. Video on your landing page. If you're running let's say you're running an ad campaign, they click on your ad, they go to your landing page, and then there's a video there instead of like a 5 paragraphs of text. People are more likely to watch the video, and it actually increases the conversion rate, sometimes up to like 50% depending on the company, and some if it's optimized correctly. But this isn't anything new, really. I mean, video has been used, obviously, in commercials have been going on forever, and since almost since almost film was invented, like not long after that. So I still think that it's the most, like, effective form of advertising. And now it's moved to more, a lot more online, YouTube and Facebook and like LinkedIn and just everything. So that's my opinion, but I think it's backed up by a lot of statistics and fact too.
One thing that you also mentioned with video is that a lot of companies, they spend a lot of time to make it perfect, to make it sound good, to make it look good. But you mentioned that actually you should make sure that the video achieves the results that you want to get, right? So it's not just about creating the video. If it looks good, it looks nice, it will get results. It's more than that. Can you elaborate a little bit more on that? What do you mean?
Yeah, sure. So this is why like a lot of like marketing teams have their specific video person, and have a digital marketing person, have a copywriter, have a sales guy, have these different things, because it takes more than just a good looking video to get results. Like, if you're trying to bring in, say a company hires you, you're a DP, like you're a video producer. So you know how to make a video look good and sound good and flow well. You know lighting, framing, composition, camera movement, editing, color. If you don't know how to structure it to actually get the results that they're looking for, then it's almost worthless. I mean, this is the difference between commercial video and other types of video. Really, the only objective is getting the result. If they want to get like an increase, like lead generation increase by 20% this year or something, and they want to do that by putting out video content, weekly. Well, you have to structure the video content in a way that's going to actually pique interest and get people reaching out, instead of just something that looks good, which I think is where whenever a lot of videographers transition into like commercial production, that's kind of the hardest part, because that's a whole nother thing, So
how would a good video, what would be the elements of a good video that can get an ROI that they need?
okay, so we'll just give you an example of like one that we did yesterday. Okay, this is for a small business in my area. They wanted to increase, so they have their advertising on like Google. I think they're doing Google Ads too, and so they're sending prospects to their website, a page on their website. Well, they wanted a video to increase the leads, so to have more people calling was their main objective from this video. So what we did is something, I call it a direct response web commercial. There's probably a shorter name for it, but that's what so and basically the way that's structured is about 2.5 minutes. Everybody's seen these types of videos. It's like interview and B-roll type footage, but it's structured in a specific way to, at the end of it, increase the calls that you're going to get, right? So that would look like grab the attention, and then define the gap or the problem that their clients are having or their prospects are having. So really, say that in the video, and then maybe the cost of not solving that problem, and then offer your solution. Introduce, who you are and what you do, and then the benefits, and then the features, and then we'll put social proof in there in the form of testimonials, and then a strong call to action at the end, so prospects know the next step, how to reach out to you. And all that's in about 2.5 minutes. Those types of videos work really, really well on landing pages that the client wants to increase their conversion rates. So that's just an example of how kind of some elements in that would work for a smaller business.
That really sounds a lot like just copywriting, frameworks, where you put all those elements in there as well.
Yeah, so it's copywriting in the form of a video, pretty much is what it is. It's just like you're taking all that text and putting it in a video so people can watch it instead of like read, the whole thing. That's basically what it is. That
would mean that we need to be a good copywriter before we can even produce a video.
I wouldn't say you would have to be like necessarily good at writing, like copywriting. You would just have to, but yeah, you would have to know what to look for. So you're interviewing, say I'm interviewing, say I'm interviewing the owner. I'm asking him these specific questions because it's more like a conversation. He's not an actor, right? But I'm looking for these specific sound bites. And until I get that from him, he doesn't know what it is, but I do. Whenever I get that from him, then I'll move on to the next question, right? But I want him to say it, and I want it to seem natural, and that's kind of how we go about that. I mean, obviously there are hundreds of other types of videos, but that's just kind of a specific case there.
How many businesses do you think still are reluctant to do even this? Maybe they want to produce a video just to highlight their company, and that's it. Like, how big is the opportunity still there?
Yeah, so if a company, I mean, like I said, that's more like a direct response commercial, just specifically to increase lead generation. Some companies, especially like bigger ones who have, hundreds or thousands of employees, they would rather do like a big branding piece, which is different kind of than like brand building is different than like a direct response marketing piece. So it may benefit them better. Some companies better to do like a narrative commercial piece, something like you would see like Coke or Apple doing, like with a family and they're on the computer or whatever. The thing about that is that type of like branding commercial a lot of times doesn't benefit smaller businesses because they can't wait a year to see results, right? Like the bigger companies can. They have these big marketing budgets every year that they just, spend millions of dollars on. And then over a few years, they see it coming back. But if you have like 10 employees and, you're not a multimillionaire or $1 million company, then it's really not beneficial for you all the time. Of course, there are some exceptions, But I think every size company could benefit from some type of video. Especially how easy it is now with all the social media platforms. And you have your phone that takes pretty good video as well, So the question was, what do you think the opportunities are for businesses? Was that it?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. What is still the opportunities for businesses that think that this isn't important? What would be a good way to convince them? Is it like, okay, if you start using video, you're going to get 50% more conversion, for example?
Yeah. So, so you mean like my sales?
Also for other businesses, also for other businesses. So I still know that a lot of people are reluctant to get on a video, to get like what we are doing is also kind of creating a video. But a lot of people are still reluctant to do it because either they want to make it perfect or they are not feeling confident on video. But I still think this is a huge opportunity for a lot of business owners, startups, whatever scale-ups, whatever type of business that you have.
Right. Yeah.
So
So
how can you really convince them to get into it and to really say, yeah, like, if you do this, this will be the result. Huh?
yeah. So normally, I keep track of um the well, as much as I can, the statistics, from how well the video is working. If it's like a more direct response video, it's a lot easier to do that if you just stay in contact with your client, right? So I would just I guess one of the biggest thing is just showing them the proven statistics on how well video works for every size business, really. And companies have been using video for, like I said, for like years and years and years to increase leads. So I guess that's one of the things that the main points that I would tell businesses about, just the proven stats on it.
Yeah, absolutely. And the conversion rate, like you said before, is important, will increase anyway. And yeah, if you have people that are reluctant, that are not confident enough to start doing it, what would be a good tip to get started? What would be a good trick to get over that hurdle and to just start producing those videos?
Yeah, so that's a big reason why we do for the smaller companies with the owners or the representatives who may not be comfortable on camera. That's why we set it up kind of in an interview thing, kind of like what we're doing, and then just cut it, in the editing and take the best sound bites out. Prospects like that anyway. A lot of times, you don't want somebody who's not an actor to act really, because it's just not gonna work well. So if you're not comfortable on camera, that's what I would suggest doing. Just kind of have a conversation, also just keep doing it. If you're like, say you're speaking specifically to the camera, if you want to do like some weekly branding content, like on your phone, and say you want to like do like 1 minute videos or something every week, just keep recording it, keep doing it over and over again, and eventually you'll get better. Honestly, that's the same with anything though. So yeah, just get over it. I mean, just keep going and get over it.
Yeah, yeah, it's true. It's true. It's true. The consistency is key. If I look at myself and how I am on camera, there are days that I feel like I'm not confident enough to get on the camera, but I do it anyway because once it becomes a habit, it becomes natural and you feel more confident because you just do it, you know. But
Yeah,
in your eyes, Philip, that type of content, like what I do as well, just pulling out my phone and walking across the city and just talking to it, is is that as valuable as produced video?
yeah. If the message is there, yeah. I mean, it's all about the messaging, you know, and it depends on who your audience is as well. Like, what do they respond to best? You know, your audience may be somebody completely different than my audience. So it's kind of like trial and error testing. Really dial in who that audience is. And if you're a business owner and you don't know who your audience is, you don't know what that means, then that's probably one of the first things you need to work on. But yeah, it's
Yeah,
all about
exactly.
messaging.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, just keep doing it. Make sure that you have the other foundations already in place because a video is nothing more than just like an email that you would send out, right?
Right.
So, um, Todd, there's a lot of noise here because of I'm in a coffee bar here.
Yeah,
Uh,
that's
how,
okay. Whenever you mute it, I can like it's it's clear.
yeah. How does the growth for your company looks like the next couple of months?
So hopefully, what I'm trying to do now is pick up a few more contracts. Last year, so contracts like retainer, content retainer type things. So shooting like monthly content for excuse me, for these companies, and they just pay you on a monthly retainer. That's the easiest, simplest way to do it. I mean, and so that's what I want to pick up a couple more of those. So that's set, you know what I mean? And I know I have that monthly revenue coming in. And last year really was terrible, because a bunch of the companies that we were working with just completely stopped, you know. So I had to do a lot more freelance work. I still do freelance like DP work and stuff though for other producers, like more narrative content, just because it's fun, you know. But yeah, the commercial video really took a hit last year. So now we're trying to build it kind of back up to where it was. So hopefully within the next couple of months, if I keep grinding it out and keep putting it out there, we'll pick up a few more good like content retainers. So that's what I'm going for.
So for you to be able to get to that goal, like what are you currently putting in place to keep that scaling going?
Yeah, so I've been a really big fan, like I said, of Google Ads. I ask for referrals. I mean, I talk to business owners like everywhere I go, just to in casual conversation. And that's how I picked up a lot of work too, just going to different different locations, talking to people. So either spending time and money. For bigger companies, it may be beneficial to spend more money than time, because I guess there comes a point whenever your time is more valuable than your money. Like if you spent more time, I guess, getting clients and going out there yourself, then you would actually be losing money, if that makes sense. But right now we're not, a huge multi-million-dollar company, so I can take the time to actually reach out to businesses, go talk to them myself, and keep running my Google ads for commercial video. We get leads from that, so a few different types of lead generation there.
So lead generation is really the biggest topic for you to be able to keep that scaling going. And I can help you with that because I can tell people where to find you, right?
Yeah, there you go. You tell people where to find you. But yeah,
So if they want to find you, That's right here, MotionRES.com,
Yeah, MotionRES.com.
and they can contact you.
Yeah, but also, yeah, I wanted to talk just a second about how companies, if they don't have the budget right now to hire a video production company, how they can start utilizing video like today to increase leads and get their brand out there, if that's okay.
Absolutely, man. Go for it.
Okay, so you want to give. So say you have your phone out. Make sure you have good lighting. I mean, there are tons of YouTube tutorials on how to film yourself. Just that's not the big issue. So you want to make sure your messaging is right. Start filming yourself. Do these little 1-minute videos and give actual real value to whoever your audience is. Speak to your audience directly and say, hey, if you're wondering about how to do this, this is how to do it, or here's my advice on this, in my professional opinion. Here's how we did this. Here's what you can do to increase, your customer base. Here's what you can do to increase blah, 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 blah. And actually give little short, like 1-minute video pieces of real value to whoever your audience is, and start posting them weekly on all of your social media channels. And you'll really see like an increase in engagement and just overall your brand starting to grow. But you have to be consistent with it, really consistent with it. You can't do like 2 or 3 videos and then 5 people watch it and then you're like, oh, whatever, screw this. Keep being consistent. Put out those weekly short informational quality videos speaking directly to your audience with a clear, concise message, and have them actually give real advice and a quality message because you're the professional, you know what you're talking about. And then you'll see over time that your business, your brand will start growing.
I couldn't agree more. I couldn't agree more. Absolutely. Good stuff, Philip. Thank you for sharing that. Thank you for your time also today. And yeah, again, if people want to reach out to you, they can go to your site right there. Reach out to Philip if you want to have a good video produced, and if you want to have more information about his company. Anyway, thank you everybody for listening, for watching. If you have more questions for us or for our guests in the future, let us know in the comments. And for now, thank you everybody. Have a great day. See you later. Bye bye.